Oh yeah, we're live. I think we're live. So let's wait for people to start joining us. Yep, yep. People starting to join us. Awesome. Yep, we're live. Let's wait for Dr. Matt and Dr. Hannah to start the live. Yeah, there they are. Awesome. I'm excited for today's conversation. Today's gonna be an awesome conversation. We're gonna learn a lot because these two doctors that are about to join us, they are awesome. Let me. I just send them the invitation. They're gonna join us in a couple of minutes. There they are.
Hello.
What's up? Oh, I'm
What's
so
up?
happy to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Too.
I love it. I'm so happy to see you.
We
How
got
are you
our-
guys doing?
Good. We got our puppy dog here with us too. So if he
Awesome.
barks,
Let me see it. Oh, that's awesome. How are you guys feeling?
Doing real well.
Doing
How
good.
about you?
Doing great. You know, new things. Excited. I just got out of a seminar with Dr. John DeMartini.
Nice.
It's a 28-hour seminar, like big time. So I feel very empowered right now. I'm feeling good.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's it. Got to keep learning.
Yes, sir. You know how it is, man. Yeah. You know how it is. So yes, let's start. Tonight we're gonna have a conversation about the essentials when it comes to health, right? But before we get there, first of all, do you guys have your teas?
No, they're not.
We got mugs,
they're not-
but it's not
Not
tea.
tea.
Okay. What do we have?
It's raw milk.
Raw milk. Okay.
That's right.
We're gonna be talking more about that. I love it.
We'll get to
I
it.
love it. I'm telling you.
It's all grass-fed, raw milk from an Amish farm, not too far away.
Yes. I love it. Oh my God, I'm so excited for tonight. But before we start, let's take, I would say, 20 to 30 seconds just to relax. I like to start the the episode with just a silent moment. You know, we're not used to just being quiet. You know, just embracing silence and getting into our heads and thinking about the dates, thinking about this moment that we're about to have, this awesome experience that we're about to have, and being grateful, you know, having this conversation with two beautiful souls, two beautiful person, and two brains. Very intelligent guys. I know it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna learn a lot. So, you know, it's a great moment to have. So just let's take a deep breath in and close your eyes if you want to. You don't have to. And just let's stay just 20 to 30 seconds. Awesome. All right. Let's get it. Right.
Right. But this is our first live, so we're still figuring it out.
No, it's okay. You guys did great.
I'm making you a little bit louder. All right.
You good?
Yep.
It's good.
Awesome. So let's start first by defining one of the most controversial words, health, all right? Because, you know, there are different words. People think that they know what health means, but actually sometimes they don't. So I don't want to give the commercial WHO definition. I want your guys' definition because that's the one that you're using for your life. And I know you guys are living a healthy lifestyle. So what is your definition of health, guys?
All right, I'll let Anna go first.
Yeah, my definition would be the ability to adapt to your environment and the ability to adapt to stressors and essentially being resilient. You should be able to experience things in your life and your body should be able to adapt to those things. And when you stop being able to adapt, that's death. So health to me is having the capacity to adapt, I guess.
Nice.
Yep, I totally agree with that. I think being resilient and being able to adapt is key. Just from another perspective, point of view, I'd say health is having the energy to show up and live your purpose, right? Contribute to society and just have that energy, have the motivation, have the ability to be the best version of yourself, you know, glorify God by the way you live your life and just be the best person you can be.
Wow. Oh my God. This is just like 30 seconds into the conversation. I knew it was going to happen. Awesome. So you guys just mentioned some things like resiliency, adaptation, living with purpose, contribution, energy. All those things are so important, and they are not talked about when they think about health. When our patients are, you guys already are opening your own clinic. Do you guys already open?
No, so we are in the process of opening. We're hoping to start seeing patients mid-September. So
Yep.
Nice.
Coming up soon.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that at the end. Just remind me so the people know where you guys are gonna be at. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's not about how you're feeling. Health is not just about how you're feeling. You have or not have symptoms. Because we know that symptoms are one of the last things to show.
Yep.
And in that process, health is more of a spectrum, and you can go all the way to the sick end of the spectrum.
Right.
So looking at health, just how you feel, like when you wake up in the morning, you feel good, you will think you're healthy. That not necessarily means that you're healthy.
Yep.
So that's something very important.
Yeah, there's actually two things I want to say about that. One is that symptoms aren't necessarily a bad thing. And we like to think of symptoms as, oh, that's pathological, that's a problem, that means I'm not healthy. But a lot of the times, symptoms are your body doing what it's supposed to do. And we're supposed to listen to the symptoms. They're a signal to us to tell us that maybe we need to make a change. Mm-hmm. So looking at things that we call like symptoms or a pathology isn't necessarily always a bad thing. And that's kind of a reframing of your paradigm of health. And then the second thing is that a lot of people like to think, oh, well, my blood work isn't good, right? And so if I can do things to get my blood work to look good, then I'm healthy. And I wouldn't say that that's necessarily true, because if the way you get your blood work to look good is by taking a medication, does that medication really make you healthy?
Healthy, yeah.
So there's just a lot of complexity when it gets into what is health and how do we define it. And so I just think it's a really interesting topic that you could go down the rabbit hole. But yeah.
Yeah, I like that because the symptoms are the language of your body to let you know, like, hey, something is going on. There is a disconnection. There is a process that is not happening how it should be. Take care of me, Right. So that's something that we got to be aware of.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. So let's get into it, okay? Because we have 12 and we'd like to make this short, but don't worry about it. However long we go, it's okay. I know it's going to be valuable information to the people that are here with us. If you guys are loving the conversation, please put some fire, heart, say I love it, whatever you want.
Yeah.
So let's start. We have 12 essentials, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's start with the first one. We
Okay.
have here. You have the document too?
Yeah, we have a list.
All right, perfect. Let's start. Let's get it.
All right, I'll start off. I like sunshine. It's one of my passions. So, people like to say health starts in the gut, right? We hear this expression, and I would argue that health starts in the eye and what light you're exposed to. So there's a lot of reasons for this. So the sunlight you're exposed to is what helps start your digestion. So you'll digest your food better while it's light outside. It's what produces a lot of hormones, right? So it gets your serotonin, your feel-good hormones, which helps give you energy. It actually also helps activate your mitochondria to produce more ATP, that cellular energy. So it can actually help give you more energy to go out and do the things you love, live your purpose. And then a huge impact on sleep, right? So being exposed to sunlight during the day is what allows you to sleep well at night. And then also, limiting blue light exposure at night, following the circadian rhythm, the natural light exposure that humans have had for, millions of years. So all those things are such big parts of health, right? Your digestion, your energy, because then you have more energy to exercise and move your body, right? So all these other things, and how you sleep. I mean, sleep is how your cells clean themselves, your body repairs during sleep. So having proper circadian rhythm, getting that sunlight in the morning and natural light, this full spectrum of light with all these powerful wavelengths that do all these amazing things in our body, that's really what allows all these other pieces of health to function properly. So big proponent of getting sunlight in the morning, watching the sunrise, watching the sunset, just getting out throughout the day, and then being aware of your artificial lighting around you, right? Like fluorescent lights, LED lights can...
All this light that I have right here, you see, I have this one, I have this one. I know, that's what I do, the blue light blockers.
That's right. Yeah. Sometimes you can't avoid it, right? If you're working on the computer, you get a program that makes it more towards the red spectrum, or you use blue light blocking glasses. But this light exposure is such a huge piece of the health puzzle, and it can just have an impact on so many different areas. So that's why I think it's definitely one of the keys to health.
And right now there's so much conversation around, oh, well, is sunlight dangerous, right? Because people are talking about skin cancer and all these things. And there's a couple of things that really play into that. One is your diet. So if you're eating a lot of PUFAs, which is a type of fatty acid, you're going to be more likely to get a sunburn versus if you're eating a higher percentage of saturated fat. Another thing that plays into it is the time of day that you're getting light exposure. So if you get early morning sun exposure and you allow that to get into your eyes, your body will actually start to prepare your skin for sun exposure later in the day, making you less likely to burn. And then there's also the component of using sunscreen, and we'll kind of get into like toxins later on, but sunscreen can be a huge source of toxins depending on the type of sunscreen that you're using. And so you have to be careful because some of the chemicals that are in traditional sunscreens are actually cancer causing. And so we have to think, are we seeing an increase in skin cancer because people are being exposed to the sun, which is a very natural thing? Or is it because we're not getting morning sunlight to prepare our skin and we're using toxic chemicals on our skin and we're eating a bad diet, right? So there's really a lot that plays into that.
Wow. That's number one. Okay.
That's number one, sunlight.
Okay.
That's a big one.
Before we move on, real quick, the best time for sunlight for our listeners, and when it comes time of the day and how much time they should be exposed. Just real quick to wrap it up.
Definitely get out as soon as you can around sunrise time. It'll help start your natural hormonal patterns, your circadian rhythm. And then the midday sun is where you'll produce vitamin D, which is very important, but not the only benefit of sunlight, right? There's a lot of other benefits. So build up your time, right? Like work on building up your tan. That's your natural protection. So that you can just start with 20 minutes, but you can work up to more, 40 minutes. And then, like I said, if you can watch sunset, it's beautiful. Get outside for a little bit, enjoy it, and then kind of wind down your light exposure at night.
Nice. I wanted to pick up back on that. Obviously, the more melanin you have in your skin, the more time you need. So that's something that, sometimes I read articles about 20 minutes, but they don't differentiate. We got to differentiate,
Yep.
I need more time than you guys, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Yep.
at least
totally.
5 to 10 more minutes.
Right. It also depends on what time of year it is and where you are. Because if you're in like the northern U.S., you're going to get a lot less UV exposure than if you're in the southern U.S., right? The closer you are to the equator.
Yep.
So that's another thing to consider. It's really very dependent on where you are, what time of year it is, things like that.
Nice. All right, let's move it on. Number 2.
Okay, number 2 is clean water. That's really important because we drink water all day, right? And it's like a major component of us as humans. So we want to have clean water, and there's really two ways to do that. One is to get filtered water. The other is to get like a spring water from a good source. And the reason why it's so important is because in our tap water, there's a ton of chemicals. I mean, there's things like chlorine, fluoride, medications, right? Just so many things. Some of them are put there because it's supposed to make the water safer, right? Like chlorine is supposed to kill bacteria. Other things are just a byproduct of the fact that, you know, people are peeing, right, into our water, and then it gets into our water system. So that's things like birth control or statin drugs or all that sort of stuff is being found in our tap water. So you really don't want to be drinking that and cooking with that. So if you can get filtered water or get a clean spring source, that's really great. We just got a reverse osmosis that we've been loving. Previous to that, we had the Berkey, which is a very popular one, and that was great too. So if you can invest in that, that's awesome. And then another component of it is using a stainless steel or glass container to store your water, because a lot of people are using plastic, right? They're carrying around plastic water bottles, or they're buying like a plastic water bottle, or in their houses they have like a Poland Spring dispenser. And plastic is a source of BPA and other microplastics, and all of that can get into your water, especially if it gets warm or heated, right? So glass would be the best, and then stainless steel behind that.
Nice. And is drinking water enough, or do you think we should add some minerals or micro minerals?
Yeah, that's what I was going to jump in. I think a big misconception about hydration is that you just drink a lot of water and you'll be hydrated. And I think for a lot of people that's backfiring.
Yeah.
You have a lot of salt, a lot of electrolytes in your blood, in your cells. And if you just drink a lot of plain water, you're just diluting your cells a lot, those natural, electrolyte levels. So, I mean, we're big proponents of, a pinch of a high quality sea salt in your water, a little lemon juice, and really, you should be good with that.
So what do you mean? So me walking around with a gallon of water, that's not good, right?
Right. Yeah, I know. We see it a lot, the big jug, but it's really, that's not hydrating you. You need a little bit of sodium, a little bit of electrolytes, all them, But sea salt, real sea salt, has a lot more than just sodium and chloride, right? It's got 60 plus trace minerals found in seawater, all important for normal, cell function, electrolyte function.
I use Celtic salt. Do you guys use the same one? You guys have another brand? Same one?
We use Celtic, yep.
Yeah, okay. Celtic sea salt or Redmond real salt, both good quality.
Nice. All right, let's keep it moving. Number 3.
All right, nutrient-dense food. So, hello, people who we haven't met on Instagram, but who have followed us. We talk a lot about food. Food is just a piece of the health puzzle, right? I mean, there's all these other things that are important too, but it's a big one. It's a big lever for either disease or health and energy. And you need food to make energy, so we have to eat, right? You can't just, fast all the time. You need food to make energy. And it's a complicated topic. I mean, there's a lot of misinformation out there, misled, scientists kind of just perpetuating their ideas. We lean more towards an ancestral diet, a Weston A. Price style diet. So for those who don't know, quickly, he was a dentist who traveled, different cultures, looked at what they ate to have good, robust health and good dental health. And as they got introduced these more industrialized processed foods, their health declined. And he kind of found, some similarities, and basically came down to real nutrient-dense food from nature. And the most nutrient-dense foods are the animal foods, like raw dairy. So, you got raw milk, raw cheese, butter, and then also like the meat and organs, right, from pasture-raised animals, really high-quality, healthy animals produce healthy meat and organs. So your 100% grass-fed beef just has a ton of nutrients in it. It's not just protein and fat, it's all the micronutrients that come with it. and then organ meats, super nutrient dense. And then sure, you could add in, you know, for variety, some of your vegetables, fruits, some grains if you prepare them properly. So another big missing piece in the conversation is food preparation. Certain things really aren't digested well by humans and cause a lot of issues unless we make the effort to, you know, detoxify them, make them more easily digestible. So things like soaking, sprouting, fermenting. WestonAPrice.org has a lot of good information, you know, for people looking for food preparation tips, recipes, just reading about, you know, what he discovered in these different cultures, and really great resource that we point people to. So yeah, just really eating as close to nature as you can and focusing on like nutrient dense foods.
Yeah.
Mickey's in agreement.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Why don't you go let him out? Go open the door for him. The other thing is that there's this whole conversation about plant-based, right? And so we sometimes get a lot of pushback on, well, can't I get all of my nutrients from plants? And we've been down that route, so like, don't come at us like you never tried having a vegetarian or vegan diet. We went down that route and it really didn't work for us. And the main thing to understand is that plants typically don't contain bioavailable nutrients, so they won't be in the forms that humans use, whereas animal-based foods will have the nutrients in the form that we use it. So when you're eating a plant food, you typically have to convert things. So like converting beta carotene into vitamin A, into a usable vitamin A. And that conversion can be kind of terrible in a lot of people. So eating the animal food allows you to get those vitamins in a much more bioavailable way, easier for your body to absorb and use. And then plants also have plant defense mechanisms. So essentially a plant can't run away from a predator, right? So they have to have other things in place to try to make people not want to eat them, right? And there's a difference between like vegetables and fruit, because fruit is the part of the plant that the plant wants you to eat, because that's how it's going to spread the seeds, right, and continue to grow. But a lot of like vegetables, like seeds and what am I trying to say?
Grains, nuts, legumes.
Yeah, all that sort of thing. They'll have things like lectins or oxalates, which are, there's a whole bunch of different type of plant defense mechanisms that humans can have trouble digesting. And you can make an argument, right, that they can act in a hormetic way, which essentially means what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? But in our society where we have so much burdening our bodies and people are dealing with all these toxins and they've got gut problems and autoimmune diseases, sometimes that's an unnecessary stress. And so while the goal should be to have a very big like variety in your diet and be able to eat whatever you want to eat, for some people that's not what they need to do right now, right? And ultimately, the best thing to do would be to prepare things properly, like Matt was talking about.
And make sure they're organic, right? No glyphosate. We don't want
Yeah,
that.
that's right. No pesticides.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing that damages the gut lining. So
Yeah.
no pesticides. Yeah, I mean we could talk about food a lot, but I think
Yeah, we can stay here till tomorrow. You'll see right?
Yeah, that's right. We can always do another one, but
all right.
We'll move on.
What's the next one?
Our number 4 is nervous system ease. That's really big for us as chiropractors, because chiropractic is all about the nervous system, at least the way we practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we want your nervous system to function at its optimal level. And so a lot of people, especially in today's society, because of all the stressors that we have, which there's 3 main types of stressors. There's traumas, toxins, and thoughts, right? And people can get stuck in the sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight nervous system. And we want people to have a balance between fight or flight and rest and digest, which is the parasympathetic. So our goal with nervous system ease is to really allow the nervous system to have that balance, to be adaptable, to have resiliency, right? That's kind of getting down to what we were talking about, what is health. And so we do that a lot with the chiropractic adjustment. That's our major way that we get into the nervous system.
Yep, yeah, totally. Just to add on, I mean, people think chiropractic is just, for musculoskeletal pain, like back pain, headaches, and it works great for those things, but it's really focused on the nervous system and how well is your brain communicating with your body, right? That's what it comes down to, this electrical wiring within us that controls every muscle, every organ, every cell, communicating properly, helping them to function the way they're supposed to. So making sure the brain's communicating well with the body, and that's the goal of chiropractic, and that's the goal of outside of the office, right? The way you live your lifestyle, making sure you're not adding unnecessary stressors, right? Some stress is unavoidable in our society today, right? But the things you can control, like toxins, unnecessary things you're exposed to, just control what you can and make your nervous system as resilient and adaptable as you can.
And we see that all the time on practice. We see people coming for neck pain, back pain, but all of a sudden, I don't know, a month or 2 months after, they're being on the chiropractic care, they start seeing how their digestion get better. They start seeing how they're sleeping better, more energy. People say that they're feeling more happy. I have even seen people seem more happy. So it goes beyond just pain. It goes beyond that. And the reason is because you're working with that system, that helps you and coordinate a lot of these processes that are happening in your body, because the nervous system communicates with your whole body. And not only that, your brain helps with the perception and the interaction that you're having and how you're seeing and interacting with others in the world. So when you work with a system like that, is the possibilities, I say, are way more than just getting out of pain. It's like using an iPhone just to call your friends,
Yeah.
You can do so, but maybe you want to do more with that, right?
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. Let's keep it moving. Next one, 5.
Movement. All right. Just moving your body throughout the day, as much as you can, not being still for too long, right? I mean, you can, do things that you like to do, right? If you like to, go to the gym and exercise, do that. But if you want to play outside, go for a walk, building strength is very important. Putting on some muscle, just being functional, being able to do the things you love for years to come, right? But big proponents of movement throughout the day, not just I sit on my butt for 12 hours, work out for 45 minutes, and then sit on my butt again for 12 hours. So just little breaks throughout the day, just little things that jumping jacks, marching, going for a walk, doing a couple squats, doing a couple push-ups, like these just make a big change in your life, how you feel, your hormones, your mood, getting endorphins going. So really just find things that you like to do, incorporate movement in your day. Movement's key for blood flow. It's key for moving your lymph, keeping your tissues oxygenated, keeping them healthy. You need movement to live well. So find the things you like to do and just get moving.
Yeah, and something that people don't think about is the movement isn't just about your physical body. Movement actually changes your brain function. And so that's like such an incredible way, right? We can all move throughout our day and we can change the way that our brain functions by doing that. And it allows us to have better mood, better behavior, better judgment, all these things just by getting regular movement.
It's very interesting because if you go and read more about the blue zones, right? Mm-hmm. One of the things that they have in common, especially the Okinawans in Japan, is like they don't exercise. Like they don't go to the gym. They are one of these communities that they have the more centenarians. There are 7. Italy, one in California, Japan, Costa Rica. I don't remember the other ones, but none of them is like they exercise. They don't have a time in the day that they go and they have a workout, but they are moving the whole day. Every 20 minutes they're moving, Exactly. So you change your paradigm, how you just said, not only about going and working out for an hour a day, but throughout the days, what about if we do micro workouts? Just put timer in your phone, and whenever the time comes up, it doesn't matter. It's like 1 minute, 2 minutes. Just do some jumping jacks, do some squat, and keep moving every 30 minutes. Keep yourself moving throughout the day.
Right.
Yeah, personally, I don't want to go to a gym, be under fluorescent lighting, surrounded by Wi-Fi, all these antibacterial chemicals everywhere. That's not me. I'm not gonna. That's not how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be outside in the sunlight, maybe grounding if you can, if it's nice out. You know, and then playing games too, like just so good for your brain, doing things, hand-eye coordination, just
playing catch.
Just really,
Great,
fun and good for the brain and body.
Awesome. All right, let's keep it moving. Next one.
Okay, number 6 is quality sleep. And that's a really big one because we spend like a third of our lives asleep. So you want to make sure you're getting quality sleep. And Matt kind of mentioned this earlier when we were talking about sunlight, but sleep is the time when our brains clean themselves out. It's when we have our memories kind of get solidified.
Yep.
And so it's a really important time where you want to not only be getting a certain amount of sleep, but you want to be getting actually good quality, where you're getting a good amount of deep sleep, a good amount of REM sleep. And that's hard for people to know, but there are trackers that you can use, like the Oura Ring or things like that, where you can do sleep tracking. But really, to get quality sleep, at the beginning of it is good sunlight, like we were talking about earlier, getting that sun in the morning and throughout the day. Then avoiding blue light at night. Everybody is on their phones, on their computers, on watching TV all night, right? And that's really a problem because it messes with our melatonin production, and then no wonder you can't fall asleep, right? So either avoiding those things if possible as you get closer to bedtime, and then also if you do need to be on them, using things like blue blockers or a program on your computer like Iris, which you can turn the blue light kind of down to more red light. And Matt's gonna whip out his
there you go. Oh, brother, those are nice, man.
These are real nice. So they are mostly red and a little orange. But if you put these on like towards the end of the night when you're getting ready for bed, you just start feeling a nice calm, like start getting sleep, because it's not blocking your melatonin production, right? Blue light will stop that, sleep, like good sleep hormone, melatonin. When you wear this, like, you just get a nice, relaxed, calm. And if you have to, use screens or something, or you have to be in lights, they work great. I mean, it helps a lot, a big difference, and you'll fall asleep faster.
Don't be surprised if next Sunday you see me with one of those, because those are really nice.
They really work. I mean, you get like deep sleep, you fall asleep quickly, stay asleep. It works good.
Yeah. And then the other part of sleep, which kind of ties into our number 7, which is proper breathing. So I'll kind of do those together, is, proper breathing while you're sleeping, right? So a lot of people are dealing with sleep apnea, or they're just not breathing correctly, and that will wake you up, right? Your brain is going to say, hey, you're not getting oxygen. You're not, like, your body can't function like this. You need to wake up. And so people are not getting good quality sleep because they're waking up and they don't know it, or they're waking up and then they can't fall back asleep, right? All these different things. So training yourself how to be a nose breather is a game changer for a lot of people. And you can look into like Buteyko breathing. It will teach you how to do nose breathing. And that's big for people. Also, for some people with sleep apnea, the problem is really a jaw and like dental development thing. So if you're really dealing with that, you should look into a dentist who can help you with that. There are people who work with sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm. One thing about sleep apnea that I have learned through the book Breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I saw you were just reading that book. I've heard really good things about it. I think I've read a book similar, The Oxygen Advantage. I think it was similar.
Yes.
But really, really good stuff.
So it's about how our skull have changed throughout time, obviously because of the development of the frontal lobe, but at the same time because we have changed from eating a more hard food to soft food. So now the muscles, especially the muscles, have changed. They get soft, so it changed all the structure. So now we have less space. So that's why we're using more the mouth. So when you go to sleep, you're mouth breathing. Obviously, that's not what you want.
Yeah.
One thing that I do, I don't think I'm a mouth breather, but you don't even know sometimes. Sometimes you will know because you will feel your mouth dry when you wake up, but sometimes you don't know. So what I'm doing is I use a tape, one of those tapes. Put one right here. Yeah, you too. I just put one tape right here throughout the night. So before we move on, because this is very important. Sleep for me is very important. Let's give some hacks. I know you guys love hacks. So let's talk about sleep hygiene. What 3 things, 4 things you would recommend just getting ready for sleeping. And once you're sleeping, like, making sure it's dark, all that kind of stuff. I know you guys know about that stuff. This just for the listeners.
Yeah. All right. So again, start with morning sunlight, really key, and then avoiding blue light at night. Stopping eating at least 3 hours before bed is really big, just so you're not burdening your digestion. And just, it kind of gives your body a little time to get ready for sleep. Or it's just something really light, if you need like a light snack. But trying to have stable blood sugar throughout the night is really important too. And then, yes, like you said, keeping the room dark as possible. And then cold helps with deeper sleep as well.
Sorry, Mickey the dog has just
That's
drank the raw milk out of Matt's cup. So that's why I'm looking down there. He's chowing down on the milk.
I love it. So one thing that I heard too, I have read too, is 3 hours before going to bed, or 6 hours before your midnight sleep. So if you sleep 6 hours, 7 hours, or 8 hours, say you sleep 8, you're gonna go to your 4, and then 6 hours before that 4, you want to stop eating. So that's what I'm doing. I do that, but it's almost the same. But that's something very important. Keeping the room cool, very dark is very important. No lights. I think that's good. Put some mouth tape. If that works for you. For me, some noise. I need a noise, so I use like a noise machine. So
white noise.
You can do that.
Yep, white noise. Yep.
Yeah, and for people who find that when they don't eat, like if they take some time before bed, like a couple hours, if they find that they're waking up in the middle of the night, it could be because of like a little bit of a blood sugar regulation thing. So you could try to have maybe just a cup of like water or something with some collagen mixed in right before bed. So it's not something that's super hard to digest, but it could help you sleep through the night. Is there anything else like that?
Yeah, if you find you're waking up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, you could your blood sugar maybe got too low, and then you get a cortisol release that wakes you up and you feel kind of like alert and wired because your blood sugar dropped too low. So a little bit of like salt, a little bit of fruit, and a little bit of protein, like collagen's really good because glycine helps with sleep, or a little
scoop of honey or something.
Yeah, just a little bit of the sugar is actually good for filling your liver glycogen, a little piece of fruit or honey, and then a little bit of protein to help have that like stable blood sugar, that you don't get that waking up in the middle of the night.
Nice, awesome. All right, let's keep it up. Proper breathing. We already talked about that. Well, when we talk, I want to talk more about that. When we talk about proper breathing, we want to make sure that we're breathing more using the belly, right? We want to do more of a belly breathing, maybe 60-70%, and then the rest coming from the cage, thoracic cage. And I say this because we see that all the time. With our patient, we tell them take a deep breath in, and the first thing they do is like, and it's like, okay, that's not the proper way of breathing, because these muscles, the scalenes and all these muscles right here, they're supposed to be supportive, secondary. Maybe when we are doing sprint and we need that help, that's when you start using those muscles. But when you're on rest, you don't want to be using this part right here. You want to come from the belly. You want that diaphragm to go all the way down. So you want to try to do more of a diaphragmatic breathing, and then the last ribs, the flooring ribs, are the ones that should be expanding the most. That's why it's like a fan right like this. So that's something that we got to talk about the proper way. And another thing that I like in this book is there is an actual ideal way of breathing. It's a 5.5 inhale with a 5.5 second exhale. And it's very interesting. So that's an exercise that I'm doing. There is even YouTube videos that they have music where it changes every 5.5 seconds. So that way you can train your breathing pattern, to what is ideal.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. You don't want to be like a shallow chest breather. You want to use your diaphragm. But another piece of breathing is not breathing too heavy. You really want your breathing to be calm and regular, because carbon dioxide, people think like, oh, that's just the gas we breathe out, right? But it's actually what allows our cells to use oxygen. You have to have carbon dioxide in you to allow your hemoglobin to let go of oxygen and deliver it to your cells to use. So people think of hyperventilating, right? You've seen it on TV or something where someone's breathing really, really fast and they can't catch their breath. And what are they told to do? You're supposed to breathe into a paper bag.
Right.
And that seems weird, right? Because you're not getting as much oxygen if you do that. The reason is you're taking back in some of your carbon dioxide, and that's actually allowing the oxygen to get released to your cells. And honestly, most people today, even though they're not, like hyperventilating like you see on TV, they are chronic overbreathers, so it's almost like hyperventilating, and they're blowing out too much carbon dioxide, and they're breathing real heavy and having to sigh and having to yawn and take big breaths, and that's really not helping oxygenate their body, right? It's not about just breathing more. It's taking nice, calm breaths, preferably through the nose, because that helps humidify the air, filter it, and warm
Nitric
it.
oxide is released when you breathe more.
Yeah.
Nitric oxide is released when you breathe through the nose. That's something.
And you won't blow out as much carbon dioxide. So that's a really, really important thing too, is just the calm breathing. Because sometimes you ask people to take deep breaths, and after a couple, they start feeling like they're out of breath and they don't know what's going on. They feel dizzy. It's you don't really want that, right? Just calm breathing, and just work on breathing through your nose, being able to keep some carbon dioxide within you, and you'll get better oxygen.
Yep. And just a side note is that proper breathing will change your jaw development and your facial structure development.
Mm-hmm.
So we see a lot of, and that's combined with the nutrient stuff, right? Having a good nutrient-dense diet. So you'll see a lot of kids and a lot of people nowadays have these receded jaws, and that's like a result of both poor breathing and poor nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So you can really make a big difference in dental health, facial structure, just by transitioning to nose breathing.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Let's keep it moving. You ready?
All
Yep.
right.
All right.
All right.
Take it. Number 8.
Detoxification. All right. So, it's a big one. We're not going to get into the nitty gritty, but you are exposed to toxins in your environment and, your personal care products. And while you want to reduce many of those things as you can, right? Your tap water, your personal care products. Some things are unavoidable, so it's just making sure your body is functioning, optimally. That's your nervous system, your digestion, to allow your body to detox, because your body's smart, right? And it will, take toxins and store it into your fat cells, so it's not affecting your, your organs and things like that. But over time, you want to get those out of your body, and there's a lot of detox programs, some supplements depending on the person, what they have going on. So it's a big topic, but avoiding what you can is going to be huge, right? Because the more you avoid, that's the less burden on your body, and then that's the better your liver is working and able to detoxify. So avoid what you can, and then do all the things that promote health. Get sunlight, sweat, move, eat well, drink clean water, and your body can handle a little bit and be just fine.
Nice. Keep it moving.
Okay. All right. Number 9 is non-native EMF minimization. So that's kind of like a lot of words. EMFs are electromagnetic fields, and there are natural electromagnetic fields just out in nature, but there's also non-native ones, which are the man-made ones from technology, things like Wi-Fi, 5G, right? And EMFs can have a really big impact on your physiology. One of the books that we were reading was talking about it actually changes how your calcium channels work.
Yep.
So there's a physical impact to these electromagnetic fields that we can't see. So people tend to think it's not a big deal because I can't see it. And that's not true, right? So with EMFs, you're not going to be able to completely avoid non-native EMFs, because we live in a society where we're surrounded by Wi-Fi, we're surrounded by 5G. You go to any store, you go to, any baseball place, right? If you want to go to a stadium or anything like that, you're going to be surrounded by it. So part of it is minimize what you can, try to reduce it. So in your own home, if you can turn your Wi-Fi off at night, or if you can make sure that all of your devices aren't connected to Bluetooth unless you need to be using it at that moment, all those sorts of things. You can reduce it in your life. And then it's really about shielding as much as possible. So there are great products out there, like brands like Defender Shield, that have like blankets or clothing or laptop pads that you can use to help shield from some of the EMFs. And then the third component, like everything else, is going to be just strengthening your own body so that you can be adaptable to the stressors that you
Experiencing.
get exposed to. Yeah. So, maybe it's not great that, I go to a store and they have Wi-Fi and I'm exposed to it, right? But my body can handle it if I do all the other things to support health. So everybody has a different threshold of how much their body can handle. And part of our goal, at least working with our patients, is how can we make you more resilient and more adaptable so that you can handle more, right? Because there are things that we're not going to be able to completely avoid. But EMS is just one that people don't like to think about because they can't see it. But it is important.
And I have to just throw out, stop using Apple AirPods, those little things that stick in your ear, Bluetooth right into your head. Just stop using them, and don't hold your cell phone up to your head, right next to your head, and talk on a long conversation. Just put it on speaker, hold it away from you, or get wired headphones, plug them in. You just don't want all that going right next to your skull, right next to your brain. So stop using them.
I gotta say, I bought them like a year and a half ago. I'm not using it no more. I don't even know where they at.
Good.
But because of that, I started researching more. I'm like, because at the beginning I kind of knew some, but I'm like, I just wanted it's easier, all that kind of stuff. But then I started seeing stuff, and then I started reading. And when you start reading about that, it's like you cannot ignore it, So
no, you can measure the EMF fields coming out of them, and it's just too much. Why take the risk? Why have it right next to your head? And as
chiropractors,
as chiropractors, we have to be a model of healthy living to inspire people, because we can't go with them at home and hold their hands, right? So when you're out, exercising, I don't like seeing people using those earbuds, because it's just not setting a good example.
Yeah, and it's not just that. Also, another really popular thing is all the Apple Watches. That's Bluetooth on you like all the time. People leave that thing on like 24/7. So again, another kind of unnecessary convenience, right? So just obviously people can make the choices that they want to make, right? Everybody has that ability, and we're totally okay with that. But just consider what's important to you when you're making those decisions. Convenience, or you're going to be exposed, or your health.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, let's keep it moving. Number 10. We're almost there.
Yep. So number 10 is social connection. That's really big. So that's another part of the blue zones that you mentioned earlier, is that they all have really big community. And community is so important because it's in community that we have people to share our experiences with, right? We get to share the joys, but we also have the people to rely on when we're facing challenges. And that's really big for people. That helps with your resilience and with your hope when you have that community, and especially when you find your tribe, right? The people that get you, that have the same values as you. And so it's important to seek those people out because it'll change your life. You'll have the people that you can rely on, and then you have those same people that you get to laugh with, right? And laughter is the best medicine, right?
Yep.
That's not a statement for no reason.
Yeah,
true. Changes your brain.
Yeah, that's something I was talking. I don't remember with whom it was, but it was last week. We can even see when someone gets sick, how that affects the people surrounding that person, because obviously they are sad because this person is sick. So you can see how someone getting sick can affect the health of the people around them. But at the same time, if those people around them obviously have a more positive mindset about, and helping that person, like, hey, this is going to be okay. Let's pray, prayers, all that kind of stuff. The community can positively impact the person that is sick. So that's an easy way, because people sometimes when they see this about community, they like, okay, but that doesn't, no, this is an example that I give my patient, like, hey, this is true or not? Yeah, this happens. So you can see the power of community right there.
Yeah, I mean, people who know us know that we're home buddies. I mean, we like to be at home. We like to, do our own thing a lot of the time, but having your community is such a big, important part of your life. Having people to share the experiences with. And we'll forever be grateful for Life University and the community of classmates that we had, our family and friends, just to have people that we can laugh with, share in our struggles, share in our achievements. And it's, you look around the world and community is a big piece of our lives.
Right. And I would like to just kind of like inspire people in the sense that like the way that you interact with people can change somebody else's whole day, can change their life, right? And I just got to give a shout out. There's one person at Life University, I won't say his name, but he was the happiest person I have ever met in my entire life. And no matter what type of day I was having, if I saw him on campus, I got a big hug and a big smile, and like that would change my day. So he is my inspiration when I show up with every interaction, every patient interaction. I want to be like him. And so today you can go and change somebody else's day just by showing up and being happy and positive and loving.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Number 11. Let's keep it moving.
All right. Time in nature. So we've already mentioned, the importance of sunlight, grounding. So putting your, feet in the grass or on the beach or in the water, touching a tree. People think that's kind of like woo-woo, right? But like this is, shown over and over that our bodies can build up, electric energy throughout the day, and the earth acts as like a sink, an electron sink that we can dispose of all that built up electrons, kind of like the sky builds up electrons and then lightning goes and delivers it to the earth. The earth absorbs, that energy. So just connecting to nature is really, really good in helping you just feel better. And then activating your parasympathetic nervous system, right? So that rest and digest. It's shown that forest bathing, being in nature, going for a hike, being near the ocean, you just get this calming relaxation effect. You get, peaceful sounds, you get movement if you're walking, and then you get beneficial microbes, right? The natural bacteria that's around you makes you more resilient. On your skin, in your body, you have bacteria, negative ions, just good things that you get from nature that make you, function better, because we're not sterile, right? We have bacteria on us and in us, and that's key to functioning well. So time in nature, a lot of benefits, but those are some of the big ones.
You good?
Yep.
Good.
All right, let's keep it moving. Last one.
All right, the last one is purpose. And purpose has kind of a lot of, like, you can go in a lot of directions with it, right? It can be purpose about your job. It could be purpose related to your faith, right? And it's basically having a why in your life. Why do you wake up every day? What are you doing? How can you show up to the world and contribute to the world? And having a sense of purpose really it gives us a direction to go in life, and it allows us to feel this optimism and have some hope and resiliency in our lives. So it kind of just brings you joy and satisfaction to know that you are showing up into the world and you have a reason for being here and something to do, right?
I'd say another big purpose for people is being a mother or a father or a spouse, right? That's you're waking up every day, and that's an amazing thing, growing with people, raising a child. That's a huge purpose. And then, just contributing, like we said, contributing to society, just having something that you love to do, something that's benefiting others, really brings us a lot of, joy and satisfaction, sharing it with others, and just having something that you wake up in the morning and you want to do, because that's what's going to help give you energy, right? You could do all the biohacks you want in the world. I can, put red light on me. I can eat nutrient-dense foods, beef liver. You do these things to promote energy, but you need to have a reason why you want this energy in the first place. So have something that you're passionate about, have something that you love to do, and go do it and make the world a better place.
And that's one of the things that they have in the Blue Zones. They call it Ikigai in Japan. They call it Ikigai is that life purpose that you have, That is what differentiates people that need motivation, and others live inspired, because inspired comes from the inside, it's that connection of living in spirit. That's where the word fire comes from, and that is something that I see in people that are living life inspired. Like they don't need something external to motivate them. That's something I talk about. Don't rely on motivation. Rely on that inspiration that you have, because you know your purpose. You know what you're here. And how you said, it can even be just being a mom, being a dad, just your family. Is that your motivation? That's okay. One of the ways that I help some of my online patients, that I try not to only go when it comes to what is going on in their health. I do work with this purpose because that is essential. I love this topic. So it's like, what do you spend your time during the day? Like when you go throughout the day, what things do you do? What are you thinking about most of the time? That can give you a clue of what is your purpose, because sometimes that's what we do the majority of the time, thinking, talking, doing. So some people have trouble finding their purpose, but it's in front of them. Sometimes we're just thinking about this purpose, and it's because we're thinking about the purpose of other people's social media, maybe a friend, maybe you call it, they're doing something different, and you think that's got to be your purpose. But no, just find what is it that you're doing, because if you're doing and you're spending a lot of time reading or doing whatever it is, thinking about it, talking about it, there is a reason why. So that might be even your purpose. So I love this topic, and I think we all should take time and actually write down what is the purpose, why I'm here for,
And another part of it is, when you have a purpose, you can experience tough things, right? Or you can have to do tough things, but you don't necessarily mind it, right? Because you see the benefit, you see the value, you see the end goal of whatever you're going through. And so I think that that's really important for people, because sometimes, we have to experience hard things in life. And if you're not able to be grounded in something, sometimes that is tough for us to overcome, right? So when you're able to say, like, I know that I'm dealing with this tough thing, or I have to do this tough thing, but it has value at the end of it, then you feel that sense of, like, I can get through this, there's a reason for this, and I can almost be grateful for the challenge that I'm having to experience.
Yeah, and knowing that every challenge brings a benefit on the other side. Like, there is no such thing as just one bad thing. Every bad thing has its positive side, and the other way around. Now, obviously, sometimes you will have to sit down, do an exercise. It will take a little bit more time, but that's just how nature works. We have the north, south, east, west. We have the yin yang. We have everything comes like that. So that is very important, and I love this topic about purpose, because I know people that is their purpose that keep them healthy.
I just want to add, it's okay for your purpose to change over time, right? I mean, you have different phases of your life as you grow older, and you that's okay. That can change. What you love to do, what the reason you get up every day. That's okay for it to change over time.
You go throughout your life, and you have different stages. And different stages can look different. Your purpose can. So that's okay. All right. So just wrapping it up, let's recap real quick. The 12. I'm gonna recap real quick. We have sunshine, right? Clean water, nutrient-dense food. Your nervous system is movement, quality sleep, proper breathing, detoxification, non-native EMF minimization, social connection, time in nature, and purpose. Is that right?
That's right.
Beautiful. So I want to add, we just came up with these recently. We just published our website for our practice that will be opening soon. So please, if anybody wants to, reference these, we have a little description of each one. We have a list. Check it out. I mean, we'd love to have you check it out.
So what's the website? Where your practice is going to be located at? And talk us a little bit about the practice. Is it going to be family? What is it going to be?
So the website is www.thehomesteadchiropractic.com. And our practice is the Homestead Family Chiropractic and Wellness. We're obviously both chiropractors, and we're going to be working with the entire family. So pediatrics, adults, older people, right? The whole family. And our goal is not only to offer great chiropractic care, but also to be a part of your health journey to be a source of education and support as you navigate all these different aspects of health. We'll be having like nutrition and lifestyle consults to help you with that aspect of it if you need a little bit more help. But we will be located in Darien, Connecticut.
Right next to Stamford.
Right next to
Also
Stamford.
very close to Westchester County, which is where we currently are, and close to, well, in Fairfield County, Connecticut.
Yep. We're hoping to be open to start seeing patients mid-September. And all of the information for like our phone number, our email, all that stuff will be on the website. So that's www.thehomesteadchiropractic.com. And you can also follow us on Instagram. So this account is Biohacking Chiros, but we also have an account for our practice, which is the Homestead Chiro.
Awesome. Wow. You know what? This has been the longest chat I have. All my chats are like 40 minutes, but this has been 1 hour because it was great. So I appreciate you guys your time.
We appreciate you. We had a lot to cover, so I'm glad people stuck around.
Yeah, I
love it. Hopefully they got something out of it. Hopefully you feel inspired to change just one piece of your day, to show up better in your life. And hopefully it was helpful.
I love it, bro. I love it, family. Thank you for your time. Your community is so blessed to have you guys, and I really mean it.
Thank you. You as well. I
know you guys.
I know your patients are in good hands, and I'm excited for all our colleagues and where they go and serve their communities.
Awesome. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here with us, because there's people here. Thanks for being here with us, and I will see you in the next one, because we got to do another one. But now what we're going to do, we're going to go just one, and we're going to go deeper. All right?
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
This is just scratching the surface.
Yes, this is the introduction. I'll see you guys. Thank you for being here.
All right.
Bye. Thank
Have
you.
a good night. Thank you. It was great to see you.
Take care.
All right. Peace.